Walther WMP. The Walther WMP is Walther's double action, hammer fired, gun chambered, and 22 Magnum. 22 Magnum is essentially a 22 long rifle on steroids, if I just want to oversimplify it. For the longest time, people have used 22 Magnums as kind of like their ranch gun, the kind of gun that they kind of carry on them if they're hunting and they want to shoot varmints and rodents and stuff like that when they're out and about. But Walther said, you know what we're gonna do? Because normally most 22 Magnums are they're in revolvers, right? Walther said, we're just gonna make this and give you a sexy version. Because we already make sexy guns, so we're just gonna give you a sexy version of that in 22 Magnum. I'll be honest, it's the first time I've ever shot 22 Magnum. So this is going to be fun. Let's just jump in and just start shooting. All right. All right, first and foremost, this gun is loud. I'm not, considering how small the round is, if you take a look at the round, if you look here, a 22 Magnum, right? You look at that and you're like, okay, it's definitely a lot beefier than a 22 long rifle. However, in 22 long rifles, they're not quiet, but you know, you got a little pop, pop. This sounds, I can't even hit it here. I can't hear it hitting the steel. I don't know if it's just because of my ear pro. If you want to take a look, you know, of course you got the Colion Noir in-ear ear pro, shameless plug. Anyway, on shop.mrcolionnoir.com. But anyway, this thing is loud. I just want to show you again, just listen. Hopefully people will stop shooting and listen. It just shoots so soft. Look, one-handed. Look, nothing. Left-handed, one-handed. Nothing. It's like shooting a 22 long rifle. However, the thing that makes you know you're shooting something a little more substantial is the report. The report is incredibly loud. Now, I'm not saying it's like deafening, but it is a loud gun, and it's something that is kind of throwing me off because I didn't expect it to be this loud. However, it actually adds to the shooting experience. And the reason why it adds to the shooting experience is because 22 long rifles are fun to shoot because they're so soft shooting. Well, this gun is loud while also being soft shooting. So it gives you all the pomp and circumstance and drama of shooting a more substantial gun, but it's allowing you to do it in relative comfort.
Before you finish watching the rest of this video, I want to take the time today to thank today's sponsor, the Arms Directory. We know that the 2A is simply tolerated on most social media platforms, if not outright banned. The Arms Directory is a social media platform that celebrates the 2A culture. There's no shadow banning or throttling, just an open 2A social media platform for the gun community. If you're interested in seeing what the Arms Directory is all about, hit the link in the description section of this video.
If I was gonna liken it to something, think about a big S-Class, right? A Mercedes S-Class, 65 AMG. A lot of power, a lot of noise. But it's like you're driving a couch. It's a fast couch. That's what this is. This is like a fighter jet with training wheels. It makes no sense. It makes none at all. But I know you understand exactly what I'm saying. But it's such a, oh God, I love it. It's just such a soft gun to shoot. So let's talk about some of the features on this gun. So one of the notable features on the gun is the magazine release. There's 4 of them. Let's count. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I don't know why that's necessary, but I ain't mad at it. Now, personally, I just use this one. My hands are too small to kind of reach the European style paddle release on the bottom, but I also could use my middle finger on this side. So you have 4 magazine releases, but then you have, as you can see here, a plate for your red dot. So you can throw a red dot on this thing, and the gun's already super accurate because it is so easy to shoot because it recoils so soft. This gun is just a absolute pleasure to shoot. Now, this frame is not steel, it's aluminum. And the reason it's aluminum, because at the end of the day, you're still shooting a 22. So it's not gonna have as much power to run a steel slide to the same degree as it would with an aluminum slide, which makes it a little bit lighter weight. And of course you have the slide cuts here to take off some more weight as well. As far as other features, of course you have your orange fiber optic front sight, along with the serrated rear on the back of the gun. And then like I said before, this is a hammer fired gun. So as you can see here, that's the hammer right there. So it's double action. But generally speaking, when you hear double action, you think, oh God, long, heavy trigger. That's not the case. So with the trigger, you get this nice take up. Walthers are known for making awesome triggers. Hands down, straight out of factory, beautiful triggers. So this is no different. Even though this is a double action hammer, you get this, there's your take up right there, and then your break. And then that's your reset, right? Reset, right? Reset, right? I'm stacking them. That's how easy this gun is to shoot. Now, I will say this about the trigger. This is not Walther's best trigger, but for other guns that are chambered in 22 calibers, so to speak, this is the best of the triggers that I've run. Now, this is my first time shooting a 22 Magnum, so technically speaking, I can't say that about 22 Magnum triggers, but there is a slight kind of playfulness about the trigger that you normally don't get. So this comes with 15 rounds. And of course you got the magazine assist, which truth be told, I would kill if this existed on every single type of magazine out there. But I understand why they don't. But man, when I tell you, this comes in handy. I like it a lot. 22 Magnum prices, they're kind of just under 9mm. They're more expensive than 22 long rifle. Not as easy to find as 22 long rifle, but they're not as expensive as say 9mm. They're close, but they're not prohibitively expensive. You hear 22 Magnum or 22 anything, you think, okay, this is gonna be a small gun. This is a full-size gun. There's nothing small about this gun. So this isn't like a concealed carry style 22 Magnum. This is a full-size outside the waistband holster gun. And which also I think is why it adds to the fact that it also shoots so light, because like, oh man, shooting this gun is so beautiful. It is so fun. This is honestly, if you were gonna like progressively step someone up into shooting, you could easily start with the 22, then bump up to a 22 Magnum, and then probably step up to a 5.7, and then go up to a 9, technically speaking. Because this is a beautiful, beautiful progression from say a 22 to the next step up. If you were just honestly gonna really progress someone slowly into shooting the full power calibers. So this gun is beautiful for people who are recoil sensitive. So if you're really recoil sensitive, I would look into a gun like this because it is a Magnum. It is not a 9mm. It's not going to be a complete man stopper, but it's going to be a lot better than a 22 long rifle in a pistol configuration. They say the 22 Magnum in a rifle configuration is even better because that's kind of what it was meant for, to be shot out of a rifle. But nonetheless, this pistol version compared to a 22 long rifle, you're gonna get a little bit more, I'm trying to avoid saying knockdown power because you're not knocking down anything with this. But what you will get is a lot more power compared to the 22 long rifle. So if you are recoil sensitive and you're looking for something that is still decently substantial enough to deal with some self-defense situations, there's something to be said about that. And considering how loud it is, and how big it is, no one's gonna know you're launching 22 Magnum. If somebody starts running this, it's so loud, it's so big, they're not gonna know the difference. They're just gonna know they're being shot at. So there's something to be said about that. Either way, the WMP chambered in 22 Mag from Walther is sublime. It's a really fun gun to shoot. It's very non-stressful other than how loud it is. And I know I keep harking on how loud it is, but it's not because of the gun itself, it's just the round. It's a Magnum cartridge. But it's not so loud that it makes the shooting experience unenjoyable. It actually adds to it, if you ask me, because like I said before, it gives you the theatrics without any of the hard work involved. So, there you have it. The Walther WMP 22 Magnum. I like this gun.
Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol. For products featured in this video, click the links in the description.